your journey into the heart and soul of Greece. And now, member-supported Hellenic Public Radio Cosmos FM 91.5, a bilingual Greek-American radio program coming to you every day through WNYE 91.5 FM. From the Demetrius and Georgia Kaloidis Broadcasting Studios to the greater New York area and worldwide through cosmosfm.org. Our programs air Monday through Friday from 7 to 8 p.m., Saturdays from noon to 3:30 p.m., and Sunday mornings from 9 to 1:30 p.m.
έναν τζέρο σε ένα βουνό. Είχε δυο κοπέλια πόνε καμνασί χορκών, γιατί έθελαν τζίντες 14 ελιές μες στο μιτσί χωράφι του τσίρι τους. Κατήσι τους και ποτέ με δεχτήκασι να μοιραστούν. 5-5 τα δέντρα να αγκονιστούν, αφός που ή του ζωντανός ο τσίρις τους να πιάσει μένους είπεν τη γη του για χατήριν του. Στα παλιό χορτά οι γέροι μοιάσαν την ομορφιά τους πρώτα που χάσει. Έχασα κάμποσος καιρός επέρασεν και συντύχα κι είπαν να βρεθούν στο σπίτι που ενιωθήκα το γενεθλίον ή του μέρα τους τσιφράνε ένα αποσμένο γράμμα του πατέρα τους. έναν μπράμαν, πάντα να σας στενήθιο αντάμα, σαν τες δέκατες ελιές μας, λέμε μια λίνα με τις καρκές.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to Hellenic Public Radio, Cosmos FM 91.5 on WNYE in New York. I'm your host, Anna Eliopoulos, and with me now to close not only the program, but the entire Fengaros Reacts online music festival, Vassilis Philippou. Vassilis, thank you so much for being on the program.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
You're closing out the entire festival, and you're closing it out in a way that I think is kind of lovely, because your musical style, I feel, is a homage to the land that you come from and the musical influences that your land brings with it. Why don't you tell us why you decided to base so much of your musical self in the sounds of Cyprus and the words of Cyprus?
Yeah, sure. So I have to say that this is only one part of my musical language, let's say, and also career. I started off by studying classical piano and then classical composition. Then I did a master's on using the sounds of the environment as tools for composing. And later on, I decided to focus on the music of the Eastern Mediterranean, because I was thinking that all my life I've been listening to this kind of music traditions coming not only from Cyprus, but Greece, Turkey, Iran, Afghanistan. And there was a link between all of them that I couldn't understand, at least theoretically. But there was something very emotional in these traditions. So after I studied classical music, European classical music, I decided to focus on the music that actually moved me more, let's say. And that's how I ended up composing this set of pieces that are included in my first album that is actually coming out on the day of the online concert, the 31st of January. So I could say that it's a journey that I always that I've been doing from a very young age, and it's a very nice feeling to be able to compile all this in this set of compositions.
And we have to mention, it's not just the music that you've written. I mean, this is also based on a series of poems, mainly in the Cypriot dialect, that you created.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I've started writing poems only 2 years ago. When I came back from after 7 years of studying and traveling back in Cyprus, then this kind of happened very immediately and easily. And I've been fascinated with poetry in the Cypriot dialect. So I started reading a lot and trying to write in the dialect, and it kind of made a lot of sense for me. As it happens, I guess, with every human being growing up in a certain area of the world, like listening to your mother tongue creates lots of images. For me, for example, English, it's not happening with English, for example. So being able to express myself in my dialect was very, very, very beautiful. And the process was very, very lovely. Also, it's a kind of revisiting the past in a way. And I tried to write with full of images. I always refer to love, nature, and simple images that I also use in my everyday life as an artist and as a human being.
In creating this album and this musical experience, because as you mentioned, we are going to get a chance to see this live in what it will be the closing performance of the Fengaros Reacts online festival. It must have been a huge departure from what you have been studying this entire past time. what was it like to finally decide, okay, this is what I'm going to create. I'm going to dedicate my time to this, which is just, stone's throw away from what you studied.
Yeah. I guess the simple answer is that sometimes you just have to do something. You just have to finish something before you move on something else. I'm going to try to answer in a different way. So I'm going to say in a few words my experience writing one of the compositions that is included on the album and that you will also hear in the concert, that is called Yearning. So I remember when I wrote this piece, I was in The Hague in Netherlands, and I woke up in the morning and I had this very strong melody in my head, and I actually couldn't have breakfast, I couldn't have coffee or do whatever until the whole piece was finished. Like, this is the small image of the big image of creating the album that took me around a year, thinking of whom I would like to invite, composing the music, arrange it for all the instruments, rehearse it, recording it. And it was definitely one of the best experiences I had so far. And saying this, a very, very strong memory comes in my head. When everything was recorded in the studio, in the end, we had the idea to record another thing, a bit unprepared, that finishes the album. It's like a hidden track in the album, and that was definitely one of the best moments that I've ever experienced. This kind of feeling of closure, and it's a feeling of like doing something and closing the circle, and feeling actually proud and very happy and willing to share it with everybody. It's like this. It's this simple and pure. It's a feeling that you want to share something that you are very proud and happy for.
Well, I want to give our audience a chance to hear what you have created and what people will be able to get a taste of come this coming Sunday, this final Sunday of the month, when you will be closing the Fengaros Reacts online festival. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Hellenic Public Radio, Cosmos FM 91.5 on WNYE, and now a song by Vassilis Philippou.
Όπως τον ήλιο που στέλνει το μόρφον φως του και χαμόγελας όποιον σταθεί ομπρός του. Έτσι εν τα μάτια σου αμάν τα δικλείσω, θκιού μου χαρά με άλλη στην καρκιάν, τες δυο βουκούες σου να φιλήσω, κι ας μας δουν όλοι μες στη γειτονιά. Λυπηθούμε γιατί έσπασα να σε κάνω μούλα τα κούτσια που μου έκαμνες, μάχωσε μες στο νου μου και το κουμαντάρω που την ημέρα που με φίλησες έμπηκες με κύμα μες στη θάλασσα τσάντα είχα ουλάδικα μου έγιο εσένα ναι θα αλλάσα. Περπατούμε στα ίδια μόνο πάθια έκαμε στα όνειρά μου ουλοχρώματα γεμάτα κι άνοιξες μου για να μπω στις αγάπη σου τη στράτα. Έλα και γύρε μες στα αγκάλια μου να σου δω δυο φιλιά και με μου πόλο σκέφτεσαι γιατί αγαπώ σε της καρδιάς μου βάστα στα δυο κλειφιά γύριστον και πά μέσα να μου κάνεις λύση προφτιάν βάλε λίγο φως μέσα γιατί εσώρη μου τη μοναξιά. εγώ εσένα ναι θα άλλαζα.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and that was a song by Vassilis Philippou. It's actually the title song of his album, O Ήλιος της Ευκής, Sol Aurorae. And that album comes out on the day that the online concert is released, which is the last day of the month, Sunday the 31st. That will be the concert at 9:15 local time in Cyprus. For us here in the East Coast and New York area, that's at 2:15 in the afternoon on the YouTube pages of both Louvana Records and Fengaros Festival, as well as their Facebook pages. And as I mentioned, the album also comes out on Sunday. And I can't imagine, every time I have a conversation with a musician, especially during this time, I can't imagine what trying to create music and trying to put out an album and promote an album is like during these weird times that we live in. Because, for a lot of us that have friends in the music industry and know what's going on, this concept of live music has pretty much come to a standstill for the most part in the past, 12 months. So what was your experience and some of the challenges that you had to face in putting together this artistic creation during this time?
I believe that as artists, we are always facing problems, either problems that we create. So the kind of, when you're in a creativity mood, when you have this inspiration, let's say, you have to create a problem. So the music will be the answer. A problem might be I'm missing somebody. So that's also a problem. A problem might be I have this very nice rhythm in my head. I want to add some melodies with it. That's also a problem. A problem might be I have to be stuck at home for 3 months. That's also in the category of problem. So the recipe for me is always to insist. And I try really hard to insist every day in my routine to have at least the relationship with the musical instruments. I try not to push myself to create and put pressure on myself as an artist that I have to create because I have the time, because nothing else is going on with concerts and stuff. So I just try to insist on having a relationship with playing music and writing music. Of course, it was very difficult, the process of finalizing the album, but it happened in the end. And then I worked on the promotion a bit, and then I decided to not to wait anymore because I had to postpone everything. So everything was ready to go on April 24th.
April.
In April. So I booked concerts, tickets for musicians coming from abroad. Everything was ready. It was just a green button on my table, and I just couldn't press it. So I had to postpone everything. That cost me.
I can't even imagine waiting that long from April to January.
I know.
God bless your patience, because I don't know if I would have been able to hold on for that long.
Yeah. It was quite difficult. I used to do this joke with my sister that is like, I could imagine being pregnant for 15 months or something. I just wanna like put this out in the world and do something else. But the love of all the process and actually the final product that you can have in your hands also, it's still the same. And I waited all these months now since April, and I just decided I'm gonna just do it. I don't want to wait more. And Fengaros Reacts actually came on the right time that I was thinking, should I do it? Should I wait a bit more? So I'm very happy that they invited me, and it's a great festival. I've been going for years now, so I'm very happy to participate. And I would be also very happy if you would like to have a copy. You can order one through my website, and experience the whole package with the music and the poems.
Well, I was going to say, I think it's really wonderful what they're doing because as many people know, this music festival is kind of one of the highlights of the summer in Cyprus. It's been going on. It would have been their 10-year anniversary last year, and this huge extravaganza was being planned. I know because I was finally going to go. I've known these guys for so many years, and I've never been able to get to go. And last year was going to be the year that I was going to finally go. And of course, the world had other plans. But I think it's wonderful that they're still trying to support the artistic community by going through with this, and possibly even giving a wider audience than people that would not have been able to physically participate and go to the concert, because at least this time it's on a global platform that anybody can tune in, even us here in the United States.
Yeah, this is true. Actually, whilst you were saying this, I have there's something bothering me with all this situation of being so easily transmitted through the globe and having everything online. And as I say to my students, we shouldn't get used to the situation. It's very beautiful to be able to participate in a festival whilst being with your pajamas on your sofa, and but the actual experience will never be replaced. So we have to use all the tools we have. And in the beginning, I was very reluctant to have an online concert, but here I am doing it, and I'm very happy about it. But still, I'm trying to remind myself and my students, we shouldn't get used to the situation. We have to wait even more for physical presence and relationships. Because if I think to myself of my most valuable experiences through art, it was the times that I shared something with someone. So even if I compose the most beautiful song in isolation, as an experience, it would be half. So I guess we have to be patient. It's like another image I use to my students is that it's like we broke our leg and we cannot run. The doctor says you have to stay home. You shouldn't run. You will damage it more. So you have to find ways to be active whilst not being able to run. So then the body will help the leg, and then the leg will help the body to stand up and run even faster or further away. So I mean, this is an image that I'm trying to think every day.
Well, I think that as a global society, we're close to getting our cast removed and being able to run again, as you would say.
I hope.
And I am just so thankful, though, that there have been opportunities, at least for all of us, to be able to connect during these times, especially through art and through music, which was such a major concern during this time of how everybody in these communities and fields would be able to survive during this time. So it's good to know that not only are we going to get a chance to see and experience your music online, but also we get a chance to own it. Once again, if somebody wants to purchase your album, or Yostis Avkis or Sol Aurora, where can they go?
You can purchase it from my website. So in the website, there is an album page, and you can contact me, and then we will sort out all the further details. And also, my album will be available on Fengaros website on the day of the release.
And the release date is the same day as the close of the online concert. You're ending the show. That will be this Sunday coming up, the 31st. It will be at 2:15 Eastern time here in the US, 9:15 local, on the Louvana Records and the Fengaros Festivals YouTube pages and their Facebook page. Vassili, if you could leave our listeners with one last thought, what would it be?
Since we have audiences that probably they speak both Greek and English, there is a word that travels with me along in my career, let's say, from the time that I went also to London to study, and it's the word eleftheria, so freedom. But in Greek, there's the whole meaning also for me as an artist. So eleftheria if we break it down, it means walking towards what you love. So I think I want to end with this, that as artists and also music lovers, because without the listener, the artist doesn't have a platform. So it's equally important if we try to learn and listen meaningfully, find ways to listen more meaningfully every day, and try in any way to be free, to be eleftheri, so to walk towards what we love.
Thank you so much for being on the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
στρογγύλων φεγγάρι με ένα ζεύκαρι βρύδικια σαν το κλιθάρι δικλάδε με αστρομυαλών αχ τσίντα κάλλη σου που πότε θα βρεις άλλον που ζει για χαρί σου και έξα από όλα τα γυνάτια ομόρφη μου ζουρού ακούει τα λαλούν τα μάτια και πέτωνε κόρου. Σε πιανούσιν χαρκούμε καμνή σκούτσα μα εν αγαπηθούμεν σαν να τσεστίζες με άλλον γυνάτην τσούτε που σηκώνεις μισόν αμάτιν. άλλον που ζει για χαρί σου. Κι έξω απ' όλα τα γυνάτια όμορφη μου ζουρού, ακούει τα λαλούν τα μάτια και